So this general shape of a teapot was very common in the early 1800s. Do you have any idea or guess at the value of this item? I hope you've been having a lovely, lovely day so far. Welcome to Antiques Roadshow. Can I please just get your last name and your entry number so I can look you up in our records? Okay, perfect. And your entry number. Okay, here you are. Okay, so it says here you have a tea set for us today to take a look at. How exciting. And you are not sure of its origin. It says here you got it at a garage sale. May I ask for how much? $20. Well, depending on what we discover together today, that might end up being a bargain. So, I have all my tools ready to go right here, so we can go ahead and take a look at your item that you've brought in today for us. I just need confirmation from you that it is okay to touch this item. Is it okay? Okay, great. So let me pop on a pair of gloves so I do not spoil or tarnish anything. Now, I'm going to start unwrapping your item. Let's get to it. We've packed it so nicely in this bubble wrap. Yes, yes, this is a fine piece that you have brought in today for us. Let's see. So first, I am just going to go over all these lovely, lovely pieces with a brush and brush away any dust or anything like that. Okay. There's a few little dust particles flying off. Very, very nice, very nice. I'm excited to look at these more closely. Okay, let's get this. Just getting a good brush over. Getting all those little dust particles out of each and every little crevice here. I can take a closer look at your piece that you have brought us here today. Brushing that away. Set that to the side. Brain, the crowning glory, huh? Let's give this a quick little brush. Okay, that I think I've got all the dust off. So now I'm just going to glance over all the surfaces of the pieces in this set, and look for anything of note. Get to know them a little better. That to the side. Start in on these other two pieces. That aside and give our last piece a glance over. I am noticing several things about these pieces. But before I say anything, I want to be certain, so I'm going to take just a few little measurements, if you don't mind, just to make sure I'm certain about what we have here. Is that okay? Okay, great. We'll only take a few more moments. Just my little ruler for the measurements. Just look here. Let's look here, looking at just the angle that this falls right here. Just the angle that this is right here. Looks like good. Just the tip of the angle. Now, what is this? Now, it's measuring how much this is. Yes, it looks about to do anything. Some light. This one. This one. Not that much. Okay, very good. Looking at this other side. Looking at this other side. Looking at this right there. Let's see, looking for about 825. Looks like we have that measurement. Very, very good. Okay. We have got that measurement. That looks like that is really very good right there. Okay, just put that down. Pick this piece up. Look at this piece a little bit. Looking at the scene right there. Yes, looks about right there. Put around and look at the sand right here. Looking for an angle that's about right there. Yeah, there. Okay, looks really, really good. Want to do this opening. Okay, that looks about right. 2.5. Looks about right. That's about 4. Okay, very good. I did that. Okay, very, very good. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, very, very good. Yes, very good. Very good. I'm going to pick up the big teapot for about, yes, right there. Very, very good. It's very interesting. It's just what we're looking for. Okay. Measure that. Very good. That's all. It's just expected. Okay, I'm going to come over here and look just right there. Just right there. It's perfect. Just right there. What is the angle on this again? Angle do we have? Okay. Very good. And then looking at this handle. Looking at this handle. Very good. Okay. Okay. Right there. It's just about right at 4 and 3/4. Okay, that's right at. Okay, very, very good. Very good. Okay, wow. This is quite the fascinating piece that you have brought in for us today. We are happy you were able to make it here. So I'll first start off by saying that so this general shape of a teapot was very common in the early 1800s. So, looking at the measurements of the spout right there, looking at the measurements of the spout and the curvature and thickness of this handle right there. I'm going to go ahead and date this about that time period, so the early 1800s, I believe. So that in itself is quite exciting, but the next thing I'm going to point out is, of course, tea sets are going to be very common, and judging by the angles of the spout, and again the width of the openings, not only the pot itself but also the milk and sugar containers that you have brought me today, I'm going to say this piece likely originated from England, which is quite exciting. But more interestingly, the carvings, this detail, not only on the handle right there, but also on the rim of the pot and on the bottom right here, is also quite exciting. Tea sets were common in all the classes in England during this time period, but this style of engraving on the pot would have not been available to all the classes. So by this alone, it was very expensive to have in your tea sets. So we can already put this piece as something that at least the middle class used. But if we also take a look at not only the material, but this stamp, this engraving right here, that is not only on the face of the teapot, but on the front and the back, and on the front and the back of the sugar and milk containers of this set. This type of engraving, the lower class certainly couldn't afford during this time period, early 1800s, but not even the middle class could afford this type of engraving, much less it on all the pieces, not just the front of the teapot. So this indicates that this teapot was likely used by someone in the aristocracy. Now, that is quite exciting, and that already makes this tea set a very important find. But this engraving is likely a personal stamp or crest that someone requested. So it is a unique, personalized item, and that will bring the value up of your item if it is one of a kind, of course. But the last thing I want to point out that is very exciting is this has a small engraving on the bottom. If you look very closely, it says Knickerbocker Silver Co. Now, this is very important because Knickerbocker Silver Co. was the makers of all the royal tea sets during that time period. What this means is that the pieces were most likely commissioned by a member of the royal family, at the very least, to be given as a gift to another member of the aristocracy, a friend, and at the best, this tea set was used by a member of the royal family in the early 1800s, perhaps even King George III himself. But of course, unfortunately, we will never be able to find out exactly who used this tea set, but this is all quite exciting. The fact that this was an expensive and luxurious item during that time period, and it has survived all these years, and it has survived with not only the pot but also the milk and sugar pieces as well. That is quite extraordinary. It does have some wear and tear. Some polish might be able to remove a few of these specks, but it will still decrease the value at auction. However, I still expect this to be a highly prized piece. If I might ask, what was this doing in your home? Where did you keep it? Under a bed in the extra bedroom. Fascinating. Well, we are so glad that you brought this in today. Do you have any idea or a guess at the value of this item? Well, as a conservative estimate, I would place this tea set altogether at a value of $100,000 to maybe $120,000, and I would recommend that you insure it for no less than $150,000. Exciting. I suspected when I unwrapped it that this would be a fascinating piece. I am so happy that you brought this in today and allowed me to take a look at it. Yes, well, whether you decide to keep it or sell it at auction, this is a wonderful piece of history, and this is what the Antique Roadshow is all about. Yes. Oh, thank you so much for bringing it in today. We are very happy to help, and I am thankful to get to help you figure out the history of this piece you have. And someone will be in contact with you soon, whether or not to see if you want to go the auction route. But regardless, I hope you have a wonderful day at the Antique Roadshow. Thank you for stopping by.